Welcome to SODO Creations, where we make your imagination a reality. Today is a huge setup, but first I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I welcome you with big hugs because I appreciate you guys watching. If you're not already subscribed on this channel, I take you along with me as I decorate for various events and also do some events at home and just some mock-ups for you guys for the YouTube channel. So if there are any specific videos you have been wanting to watch, please don't hesitate to comment down below. I have a couple on my list that you have requested and I'm working on those as I speak. So today our setup is huge. If you're not subscribed, you have the opportunity to click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. We're starting out with this beautiful chrome gold balloon. Today we are working with all Tuftex balloons. They are the hardest to work with. As you can see there, I'm struggling just with the 5-inch balloons. I started with the 5 inches because they are harder to inflate. All their balloons to me are hard to inflate. Most of them, especially these chrome ones, the ones I'm using today aren't, except the black. I love their chrome gold the best compared to other brands, and I'll show you later the Qualitex chrome gold I ordered that I don't really like the color, but this one I like the color and I always go back to it. I'm picky about that, so if I have an order for gold balloons, I always use Tuftex. With these 5-inch balloons, I'm creating my filler clusters for balloons. Okay, here's where I show you the chrome. So that has more of a yellow tinge to it. So I ordered the wrong one and I'm planning to return those packs. Here I'm trying to stretch out my balloons ahead of time. This is the white one and I knew it would be hard. The Tuftex balloons are made really thick, which makes it hard to inflate, less stretchy, so it makes it also hard to tie and hard to work with. You'll see me with the struggle later on as you continue to watch. So I'm working on the white here. This white is not the regular white balloon. Their regular white balloons are fairly easy. This is called sugar. The customer wanted a white that has a slight shimmer to it. You saw me use this at the bridal show sometime either early this year or last year. So I'm bringing it back again because it's a beautiful pearly white color. And that's the shimmer she wanted for this design. So you're wondering what the occasion is. I'll finish talking about the balloons and I'll reveal to you what the occasion is. Now I'm prepping some balloons with the sizer to use for centerpieces. I'll do a very short video later on to show you how I made the centerpieces for the balloon. Already this video is long enough as it is, so I decided to just create a short separate video for those centerpieces. But while I was prepping the black, I went ahead and prepped the base and the top for those centerpieces. They're just balloon centerpieces. The black is also a Tuftex. Again, I'm gonna be prepping these balloons in these 3 colors. Those are the colors we're using for this event. Now it's a 40th birthday party. My friend contacted me to plan a surprise birthday party for her husband who turned 40, and this was quite a pleasure because we're not only doing balloons but we're doing drapes as well and dressing the tables, putting some charger plates and the whole thing. She ended up doing the centerpieces herself. I'll show you some pictures at the end of the beautiful centerpieces she made. But we did the backdrop and it was a total hit. When we went back to pick up all our supplies, her family was so thankful. They took lots of pictures and loved it. And of course, being a surprise, that was very special as well. With the large balloons, I decided to create large clusters. So, in the past when I'm going for my large clusters, Some people like clusters of 8, but I prefer clusters of 6 just because I'm able to intertwine the balloons in such a way that they're not pressing on each other. I found that when I do clusters of 8, they're just too tight in my opinion. But if you like, you can do, sometimes I go with 4, sometimes I go with 6. But in this case, I'm going with 6, but I'm using one 17-inch and one 12-inch balloon for this design. So each cluster will have 3 17 inches and 3 12 inches in the cluster, and you see me put these all together. So the pairs have one of each size, and I'm just, of course, creating that rounded look. I showed you on a short a couple of weeks ago how I round the balloons, how you can round your balloons. So check out my shorts playlist and you'll be able to see how to round your balloons. For these organic looks, you do not want the balloons to look oval, you want them to look round. So make sure you're compressing them to create that round shape, and your balloon garland will end up looking beautiful. So working on the black, and soon we'll get on to inflating or assembling all our clusters together. I'm not gonna connect them at this point because there's so many balloons. We are creating a backdrop that is 7.5 feet tall and about 8, no, not about, it's 8 feet wide, 7.5 foot tall, and it's going all around, and the drapes are gonna be in the middle. So you'll see all that set up later on. But we need lots and lots of balloons. But it's not only going round the backdrop, we have our marquee 40 that's gonna go next to it, and we'll have balloons that go around that as well. So you'll see how I put all that together. Now we're working on this pearl color, lots and lots of balloons. You see how many bags I fill up, large bags for this. But continue watching and I'll show you that here shortly. I'll show you the clusters. Look at my hair, all the static I'll show you the clusters. I might wait till I get to the venue to assemble all the clusters because it's pretty thick. I really went making it big chunky, so I'll show you that so you can kind of see. It'll be easier to put it in bags if they're in the clusters of 6 than it would be if I assembled them and try to stuff them in bags. So let me show you that right now. So you can see, sorry, there's a lot of background noise. They're having dinner, and so against this, let me move it back a little bit, sorry. Okay, that's one cluster, and imagine that backdrop there. So, well, it's covering half, I guess. This is one cluster. That's so they're very big and thick. I'm just gonna wait till I get there, then put it together. These balloons are so thick, I'm thinking to save my fingers already. Trying to twist them into clusters was tough. Tough Tex has tough balloons. They name their balloons well. It's exactly what you get. Very firm, and especially these are probably my worst ones to work with, but they're beautiful balloons. They look like pearls. If I'm able to bring these back home where the customer doesn't need it, I plan to use this for a real nice backdrop. You guys stay tuned for that. And I also have plans if I can bring back this black or the gold. I was planning to do like an emerald green and either gold or black, but we'll see how things go. So these are all the balloons. I left a couple of balloons right like that one not tied together because I'll need some filler balloons like that one. This is not part of it. That right there, just so I can add, because as you know, we're using the Marquee 40 and we have to put balloons around that. So that is that. I'm gonna put all this in bags so it's ready. At least we have, I would say, and you have the smaller ones down there, I would say we have probably 90% of the balloons done, but we won't know till we add those clusters together. The good thing about having the 17 inches is you get more volume, so you're not using as many balloons per se, but you're able to fill the space more. So I'm really happy when we get to the venue. At least this is done. I have 3 events to inflate balloons for today, so this was the majority. I'm trying to do it before the kids go to bed. So I'm going to pack these up, put it to the side, work on the 2 8-foot columns that I need to do. It's an organic balloon column, but they're 8 foot tall. Work on that so it's ready for me to just take it and put it at the venue. Maybe just add a couple on the top. Then I also have a baby shower backdrop, so I'll show you guys that in another video. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button so you don't miss all these exciting videos. So I'm gonna go get some bags so I can pack all these and start working on the other balloons. Probably work on our 2 8-foot columns first, because those are also more. I'm trying to work from the most to the least amount of balloons, and then I'll do the baby shower balloon. But I'm also doing this while waiting on Matt. You guys have met Matt at some point in my videos, because he's gonna spray paint the number 4 that we built. And I don't know if I'll post that video yet or it's coming up. Again, lots of videos coming up your way. We did the Marquee number 4, built it. I'll show you guys how we did that if I haven't already. And so I'm waiting for him to call me so I can show you guys how we connect the electrical, because we're gonna paint everything, let it dry, and then connect all the electrical wires. So without all the talking and giving you extra sneak peeks and all that, I'm gonna pack all this up and then I'll meet you guys at the venue. So this will be it for today. I'm just giving you guys kind of my thought. End of the day, I look a hot mess, but keep going. And I'll see you guys when we're setting up this venue. So thank you for watching. So this is the next day and we are at the venue. As you can see, a beautiful venue. This is the front room. Walks in through this room into our main room. We're not going to be using the front room today, just this room. They already have tablecloths. We're going to dress the tables with runners and chargers and some napkins and cutlery to use for the event. So I'm just showing you around, and this is where we're going to be setting up our backdrop. So I told you I wasn't connecting the clusters, but here I am working on that right now, as Matt and Sabi, who are with me helping out today, are going to start setting up all the other stuff. I am rushing today because I'm hoping to get everything done on time. I've been really trying to push to get myself prepped early, everything done on time, so I'm not staying up late the night before for events, and I'm also ready for the event that day. So before he put those balloons on the right, I was gonna say those are the center pieces that I was telling you about, that I'm gonna show on a shorter tutorial later on. Very easy to make, and they come with easy design, so you'll be able to make that yourself very easy. So right here I'm just alternating the colors kind of in a pattern until I get separate lengths. I'm also trying for the balloons not to touch the floor. My biggest pet peeve is with the white ones. The floors are never as clean as they look, so those balloons pick up every little piece of fuzz, every little piece on the floor. So I'm just creating the clusters, and we'll see if we inflated enough balloons, right? That's always the thing. How many do you inflate too many balloons, or do you inflate less? It's always good, I guess, preferable to inflate less, and then at the venue you give yourself time to inflate a few more just to add. But I'll let you know at the end if I inflated too many or less with the number of bags that you saw, the 3 huge bags of balloons. That is our number 4 marquee. Matt is in the back helping me set up the pipe and drape kit that we're going to use for the backdrop. Now, you asked me a lot about this pipe and drape kit. I'm gonna have it linked in the description box below, so you can access it. You have to search it through that link or click on the menu bar to get to where they have their pipe and drape kits. But I bought this as a kit when I first started my business. This was my very first investment when I started, and I don't use it as much as I would love to because of time, but I'm hoping in the near future I'll create more backdrop designs as far as the draping is concerned. I love doing that. So we built that number 4. We already had the O or the 0 for the 40, and we built the number 4. So I have a tutorial that I think I'll put together. It's different parts, because some parts I left for Matt back there to help me make while I was busy prepping other things for these events. But as far as the sketch and the design, I drew that out myself and just gave him the plan on, actually drew out the wood and he cut it out and added the part. But I think I'll see if I can edit that video, put the pieces together, because I had to record separately in order to get that done. But I love how it turned out. Absolutely beautiful. Came out, I would say, perfect. Now we're dressing the backdrop. So I have my black panel one, I have one of the white, one of my gold, but the gold is a thicker sequin fabric and the others are a 4-way stretch fabric. I love the 4-way stretch fabrics for my panels because they flow easily. Because of that, I'm showing you my tape. I paused talking because I want to make sure you're following the video. So the backdrop is 8 foot long, which means I'm putting my tape right at 4 feet because the design is an even design. So I have to have the same number of drapes on both sides, but also you don't want it to look uneven, so you want to find that center point. So I just put that painter's tape on that side, and Matt is gonna put through the same colors on the opposite side. So I'm putting black, white, gold, and white. And what I was saying is, with the stiffer fabrics, you want to either put it in the center where you drape on both sides towards that material, or you put it towards the back where you don't get a lot of swoop. So every time you need a lot more of a swoop with your fabric, you don't want to use this heavy duty sequin material. There are lighter sequin fabrics you can use, and you also have the 4-way stretch, which is always my favorite to drape backdrop. So that's why you see that gold in that position, and the gold is in the back because the back is just the base for the backdrop. Is just gonna stay flat. We just even everything out. So we're working on making sure that all the colors are nice and evenly spread out. At this point, Sabi is putting all the chargers on the tables and the runners and preparing all everything that has to go on the table, and also helping out with the centerpieces. I'm tying all my 260 Qs that I'm going to use to attach the balloon. You have to make sure that all your drape panels are even and straight before you raise it up, so you don't have any issues there. And Matt is trying to just eyeball positioning this at 7.5 feet, sorry. So while he's doing that, I'm still gathering my pipe cleaners that I'm going to use to tie the backdrop. Of course, the balloons are somewhat put together. I have some pipe cleaners tied together and some single. So I'm leveling everything out, moving things out of the way, and I'm going to start with the back gold panels. So I think I put 4 panels of gold in the back. They're not flat. I like a little cluster to my backdrop because I don't want it to look cheap and just flat put together. So they're clustered. So I'm just rolling the backdrop in the back so that it's gathered nicely. My panels are 14 feet tall. They're actually 15 feet tall, but with the fold, so a little under 15 feet tall. So with my backdrops, I have to really do a good job with folding everything up so that they stay neat without it looking messy on the bottom. So that's what I'm doing, trying to arrange all the panels. Also make sure that they flow well between each other so that you don't see any gaps in between the panels. And here we go, folding each one, arranging up and down so that it's nice and straight. We're just gathering the fabric, aligning everything, and when I get to where I feel like I can't hold anymore, then I use my pipe cleaner to tie it in place so that it doesn't move. So the work I've done so far was not in vain. So I'm tying that now, and Matt always covers the camera, so I'm sorry for that. But we're gathering. I think I always have to remind them and I think he moved it also so that you can see better. So I'm just gathering. Pardon the light in this room, it wasn't that great. I think later on they were able to turn on a different lighting and it helped with the pictures that you see at the end. But so far we had to go with what we could. Plus, when I get to a venue, my mind is more on trying to get everything done. I really wish I had time to show you the venue on the outside just so you could see, but we had the backdrop, not the backdrop, the projector screen right next to this, because my friend is gonna set up some pictures of her husband through the years, also screening right there next to the backdrop. So we thought that was a nice touch. With these panels set, I feel like I need a bigger soup, and that's I was thinking it, and Sabi said it. So I'm trying to release the panels a little bit so that black comes down a little more. We have a bigger soup. So that's what you see. I'm just pulling out. Of course, with the pipe cleaners, I tie it, but not too tight where I can't make adjustments. So I'm working on the second side. You'll actually see me go back here in a little bit to adjust that black again so that I get even a better soup and it looks more elegant and more elevated. So here we are pleating. I would call this pleating each of the panels, and with the sequin it doesn't pleat as well, so you have to manually run your fingers through to get it to fold the way you want it. And once you do that, it adjusts and it's fine. With the 4-way stretch fabrics, they just go with the flow. Whichever direction you need it to work, that's what happens. So I'm pleating this white and I'm just gonna fit it right in with the rest. So that is that. Of course, trying to attach that piece to the pole and to itself. With the black piece, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and just use a different method to give it a better soup. I'm stepping back just so I can see my design, see if I need to make adjustments, and I do with the black. So this time we're just gonna pick up where we want it to attach and just gather from the bottom, and you can see how wide and deeper that soup is, and that's what we're gonna do with this part. So I look at it again, make adjustments, and I like how it looks. So we're gonna do the same thing. So you find the point where it'll attach to the white, you hold on to that, then you let the rest fall, and you're just gonna use your hand to gather it into your hand all the way to where your right hand is. So right hand holds, left hand gathers to the right hand, and that's Sabi trying to see if it's straight and handing me the pipe cleaners, and we're gonna attach that. I think it's pretty even, and we lost it because my pipe cleaner was acting up, so I'm redoing kind of, and now we lost the depth of it. So there we go. We're gonna tie that to the pole, step back, make sure it looks good. And the next thing is, when you have these colors on the top, you want to make sure those same colors are represented on the bottom, right? So when you're folding your fabric, see all the excess fabric I have down there, you want to make sure each of those are showing on the bottom as well. So I gather one at a time and then somehow make them overlap on each other, so they're not just single pieces, but I'm rolling them from the bottom and overlapping to the next one, just so that they're even and each one is showing on the bottom. So you can see where the black shows, the white shows, and that gold shows. And now we're gonna roll this white and overlap it with the gold so that it's not too gold, and that is our nice puddle on the bottom. That looks nice and elegant. So we're gonna repeat the same thing on that left side. A lot of fabric, but you just have to take your time and roll it up in such a way that it doesn't look messy, but also doesn't look, it has a flow to it, like it just kind of draped and puddled down versus just dumped or uneven. Now I'm moving the 40 forward because I'm getting ready to assemble the balloons around this backdrop. Again, we're going on the left across, down, and over around this 40. That is the next plan. So we're gonna work on attaching our 260Q. I have these holders, or the drape holders, that I'm using. Every time I'm recording, I forget the name to everything, but I use Velcro to attach this sequin ribbon that I made myself, and I just use that on each side, so that if I put the balloons on the pole and it happens to show, my pipe cleaners won't show, and it'll be just this. And I made sure that I tuck my pipe cleaner in so that it doesn't pop the balloons on that side, because we don't want the gap between where the drape is. We want everything to just fit right. And I'm not worried that the white is not showing on that side, on the bottom. I just need the balloons to stay flush with the backdrop and just look like one piece, and no holes or gaps in between. I don't want the pole to show. The pole is exposed on the right and left just so it gives me a place to attach the balloons, but I'm trying to fit in as best as I can. Sabi's looking for a balloon neck on that sugar balloon, and she hands it to me, so I'm gonna attach that to the black. You can see my colors are alternating. These are tough to tie, but I end up going with it and struggling because I inflated so many balloons for 3 separate events for this day. I had sores on my fingers. Took a while to heal. Here we are trying to attach the next piece that I put together earlier, and it's tough to get it on. So I end up giving up because my fingers were really hurting. I tried a couple of times, but you just don't get that stretch. As much as you pull to tie, you would tie the first loop and you just can't get the second loop to tie. So I end up just grabbing, I think I used either fishing line or 260Q. 260Q, tie it onto the black real well, and then use that to go around the white so that I could get it nice and secure. We're both wearing our SODO Creations t-shirts today. I need to find time to really show you guys a close-up of the t-shirts I designed, but I'm always rushing at events that I don't show, but I'll try my best. I think I'll make a video on things you need for your balloon business, a few things you might need, and just walk you through what I have in my bag. And in that video I'll take time to show you guys what my t-shirt looks like. I have it in black and in white, and I love the design, love how it looks and how it turned out. So again, using all those 260Qs that we attached to the backdrop earlier, if you caught it, I don't think I had a chance to cover that. Pulling those through, I attach one in the middle between the black, and there's one somewhere there between the gold and white. So I'm pulling that, wrapping it around. I did the left side already, working my way down. I'm gonna let you continue watching the video. I'll come back in to talk to you about my strategy on how I covered up the 40 and also anything else that comes up as I am filling this whole backdrop. So keep on watching. are nearly done. A quick crash course for Sabi on how to help me place the filler balloons, and I'm showing her how to do it. And of course, she has the quads in 5 inches. I'm asking if she can put some on while I finish up, but of course, you know, you can't put it around the 18 or 17 inch balloons. So she's gonna find all the 12-inch balloons that she feels need one, if there are any gaps or anything, and she's just gonna slide that through. I'm showing her again how to work on it, and she's gonna put that through there, all in, and then adjust that right perfectly. So this is not a tough thing to do. You just need to know where you're putting it, and I'll do all these videos and classes for you guys later on. So if you're not subscribed, you should be, so that you don't miss any of the tutorials that I will be doing on this channel, one at a time, to show you how I do a lot of these. A lot of these videos will be coming up in the next year, so that you guys can actually learn and practice on your own. So while she's doing that, I'm working on putting the balloons around the 40, and I'm so sorry I did not adjust the camera once I got there. I thought I had the full shot, but I did not have noticed that the camera had cut off that 0. The issue with the 40 is that my clusters are huge, so here I try to fit as many as I can through there. Of course, you do not want to cover the number. I've seen where some people decorate and they end up putting so many balloons that their number is covered, or the actual backdrop ends up being covered. The words on the backdrop end up being covered. You don't want to cover what you're trying to show, right? It's a 40th birthday. So I'm trying my best where the balloons are just barely in some places overlapping, if not just bordering around the 40, not anywhere else. So I go back and forth because my clusters are big and I'm trying to fit all those balloons in. I take a break from the 40, come back to with Sabi handing me these filler balloons so I can put some in, and then I'll go back to that section. I can't emphasize enough, when I look at the statistics on my channel, only 80% or 90% of you are subscribed, but the rest, everyone is watching. Everyone here who watches is here, and I appreciate you guys watching. I would love for you to give me a like if you like this video, subscribe if you've been watching once, twice, or if you like these designs you see, so that you can, I'm encouraged by what your comments, and I appreciate all those who take time to actually comment on these videos, because it makes me know that I'm helping someone there with the designs, either design ideas or techniques, or the tutorials, and it keeps me going and keeps me posting even more videos. So don't forget to subscribe. We have more videos coming up, planning all my Christmas content. Hopefully I can get all of them recorded for you, and you'll be able to see all those tutorials soon. So adding those fillers, already looking good, about to wrap everything up here shortly, but I appreciate each and every one of you so much. I'll have the camera, I'll move that here in a second. I think something bumped it, so I was able to adjust it so you guys can actually see. With the balloons that you cannot put the rubber bands through, those bigger balloons, you just tie 260 Qs on each end and wrap that around, as you saw me do with the black and white over there. So here we are, continuing our process. I still have to finish the gap in between the 4 and the 0, because I don't want that open, but I have to work on that from the very back, because I don't want balloons in the front. Again, I want the 40 to show. But I noticed there's a gap over here between the pole and the balloon. So I'm trying to put in some balloons in that area so I can fill it up, and it's not showing, the pole is not showing. So that's what you see me doing here. Okay, it's all adjusted. You can see where I went around the 40, and now I'm putting that white and the gold balloon towards the back. I wish I had black, but this is why I tell you that the exact number of balloons we inflated worked for this design. I think I ended up inflating a few of the 12 inches maybe about 6 more balloons if I'm not mistaken, but that was it. So it's always good for me. I'm always happy when I have the exact number that I need so that I didn't overinflate. Because I need to attach these balloons here, I have to have Sabi hold that 40 so it doesn't fall forward as I'm trying to put those balloons in that space between the 4 and the 0. Not quite in the space, but right behind it, if you understand what I'm saying. So right there it's attached, and I inflated the black cluster at the bottom. Now adding more filler balloons on that right side. Matt is getting some 260 cues to show how he can make balloon animals for Sabi towards the back of the backdrop, but they know we're pretty much done. All the tables are set. You can see a glimpse of the chargers there on the left side. I'm gonna see if I can attach some photos here shortly so you can see the final look, hopefully brighter pictures. Of course, still thinking where can I put this. Those are the balloons I have left on the bottom. So again, thank you for watching. Here are some pictures of the final look.